What's good, traders? You're welcome to the channel. So today we'll be doing a focus on what we're expecting from the market this week. So we're starting with the pair DXY, that's the dollar index, and we can see that the dollar index is still within the range it has been sustaining for close to a year now. You can see that the market rejected from the low of the range and is going to the top of the range here. So on the monthly time frame, the market is still stuck on this range, and let's go down to the weekly time frame. Now, on the weekly time frame, we can see that there was a reversal pattern here, which was a double bottom pattern that pushed the market higher. So on DXY, based on the monthly and the weekly, we are still expecting a bullish move to the top of this range here before we might see a downward move, or we might witness a break of this range for possible buys next year. If the market is unable to break this range, that means we'll be expecting dollar to go down. So that's from the weekly time frame. So let's go to the daily time frame. We can see on the daily time frame, you can see how the market rejected from this point, which is in form of a break and retest. So we can see we had the first wave to the upside, we had the downward retracement, and also the next push and price touching back to this point here before we can see a possible move maybe to this point here and anticipate either an upward break of this range or a downward pull of the range. So that's for dollar index. So it's still looking a little bit bullish, but despite is in a range though. Despite is in a range. So if we see upward movement on the dollar index, that means we're expecting sales on GDP USD, and also we're expecting sell on Euro USD. So that's for the dollar index if this bullish movement sustain. But if the bullish movement do not sustain, that means GDP USD and Euro USD might start preparing itself for certain bullish movement. But for now, let's wait and see how the DXY move. So the next pair in my watch list is Eurojpy. So we can see Eurojpy. We can see that the market has been in an uptrend from the monthly time frame, and we can see that the market was rejecting from this point, which was around 2008. Market previously moved to this point, so more than 15 years the market has not been able to get to this point, and we can see why it's creating massive push downward to on the market. So for almost 3 months the market was just going downward, but we'll be expecting some little bullish movement at least to retest this zone, and possibly by next year we might see a break of over it or a decline below it. So you can see the market is still bullish though from the monthly perspective. Why is it bullish from a monthly perspective? You can see this is a high, this is a low. This low has not been taken out, and we had a higher high, and now we're having a higher low. So until this low is taken out, we are still looking for possible bullish movement in the EURJPY market. So let's go down to the weekly time frame. On the weekly perspective, we are still seeing bullish movement in the market. We can also see here. So this is a double bottom pattern, and we can see that the market has broken the neckline, and we might have a retest and before the market push to the end of this range. So we are seeing something like this. There is a zone here, and we can see that the market might possibly just reject from this zone and spike up on EURJPY. So EURJPY is still looking bullish from the weekly perspective. There are minor zones here on the weekly time frame that might interfere in the bullish movement of EURJPY, but despite that though, it's looking bullish. So let's go down to the daily time frame to see if we have any possible entry. So on daily time frame, we can see that even though we plot our Fibonacci from this point here, from this swing low to our swing high, we can see that we're at the 50 and 0.61. That means it's a very sweet spot, and the market has a chance of rejecting from here to go higher. So let's plot a trend line. You can also see here our trend line and our Fibonacci. So they are both in line with our bullish view. So what I'll be expecting on EURJPY is if the market sustain above this low, I will be willing to look for a buy on EURJPY. This low, if we do not see a break below this demand zone here, I'll be looking for buy on EURJPY. So to get access to our Telegram group, just check on the link comment section. It's pinned there, or you can check on the description. and you get access to it. So there you'll be informed on when we are to take this trade, if we are to take it, and if it meets the criteria. So on 4 hours, what will I be expecting? I'll be expecting more bearish push downward. That is market coming down a little bit, giving me more space. Something like this, a reversal pattern, so that we can draw a counter trend line around something like this. So if the market gives this kind of structure, then I'm okay taking this trade. But if I don't see something like this on Eurojpy, possibly I will not take the trade. And immediately the market goes below this demand zone here, I'm no longer interested in looking for a buy on Eurojpy. But if Eurojpy meets the criteria, that means we might take a buy and look for our first target here and take the market to here and before our last target, which is here. So it will be a nice trade if we see the market play out like this. And if it plays like this, you get informed in the Telegram group and we all will enter the trade together. Don't miss out. Join the Telegram group using the link on the comment section or on the description of the video. So guys, the next pair on my list is the GBP So on GBP from the monthly perspective, we can see that there's something forming up from here. Despite the market has not given a full direction, but I'm seeing possible sign of bullishness from the monthly time frame. Surprisingly, you can see that if we plot our zone here, you can see there's a clear move above here, and we can see there's a rejection from here. That means there's a break and retest from the monthly time frame. That's also alarming. You can see here, we might see possible move. Who knows? So it just depends on confirmation though. So that's what I'm seeing from the GBP You can see our next zone is here. Let's clone this and we can put the zone here and we have another zone here. So from the monthly perspective on GBP surprisingly it's looking bullish though. It's looking bullish, but you know the monthly time frame usually takes time, so we'll wait for all the time frames to turn bullish, from daily time frame to weekly time frame. You see, this is the first touch of the trend line, the second touch of the trend line, and this is the third touch of the trend line. And if we also plot our Fibonacci, we can see from here to here we are at which level? 0.50 level. Yes, that's a nice one. And we can also see that there is no interference all here. There is space between from this point to here. There is space, meaning that if this market chooses to go up, it will go up really well. But despite that, let's see how the market goes. This is the monthly time frame and it usually takes time. So let's go to the weekly time frame. On weekly time frame, the market is not that bullish. So why do I say the market is not that bullish on the weekly time frame? Because see, this is a low, this is a higher low, higher high, and now we are having a lower low. So this, as long as this low has been broken, that means this weekly time frame is not showing any bullish sign. So when I will be looking for bullish movement on this weekly time frame is when I see the market create a higher high and we start seeing something like this. Then in line with what we saw on the monthly time frame, that means we'll be looking for buy upward. But for now, the market is not showing any buying opportunity. Instead, if this market breaks from this zone, we might see a downward pour in the market too, just based on what we can see here. So on the daily time frame, we can see that the market is rejecting from this zone here. The market has been rejecting from there, and we can see that this zone was a range in the market for close to a year plus. There was a range before the market finally broke above it, and we can see this is a retest of this range. For me, I'll be looking for either a buy or a sell when the market has pushed away from this zone. For example, for sales, I'll be looking for sales when the market comes below this point. Then we have something like this, I'll be looking for clear sell. Then for buy opportunities, I'll be looking for buy when I see the market push above this high. Now, when the market push above this high, it will be bullish from the monthly time frame to the weekly time frame and the daily time frame. So all I have to do is to go down to the 4 hours and we look for possible entry. So those three time frames will be aligned. So both the weekly time frame, the monthly time frame, and the daily time frame will be saying one story. That's what I'm looking for on the GBP. So, but for short-term view, maybe for day trading and the rest, making market just come down from this point is okay for someone to start looking for a short. Or if the market break above this point, maybe looking for something like this upward. And if the market breaks below here, for people doing day trading, we can start looking for something like this. So this point, taking trade within this range on GDP USD is not advisable, because the market might just possibly just range for some time before it breaks out. So immediately it breaks out, it has given us a direction on which point is about to move. So that's that on GDP USD. So let's move to the next pair, which is Euro USD. So on Euro USD, let's go to the monthly time frame. We can still see that on Euro USD, just as we talked about, I think almost a month from now, that the market rejected from this zone, and we might see a push downward to the end of the zone, which is here. You can see this is the end of the zone, and the market is approaching this point. So on Euro USD, Euro USD is just same as DXY from the monthly perspective. Just you can see that, remember, we had a double bottom on the DXY, which is here. You can see this is a double bottom that pushed the market upward. Also on Euro USD, we had a double top, which is the opposite. So on Euro USD, it's still maintaining a bearish move though. So immediately the market breaks below this point, then I'll be looking for possible trades on Euro USD. So, but the market might just get here to this point and start pushing upward. We might see this, since we have seen this for close to a year plus. It's almost getting to almost getting to a year plus. We have seen the market ranging within here, so it can repeat itself since its history. So let me go down to the daily time frame. Previous videos, we said that the market has a chance of coming back to this zone here. Why do we say the market has a chance of coming back to this zone before crashing down? We can remember, you can go back to the previous video, and we can see that we said we had a rejection here, we had a rejection here, a rejection here, rejection here. And when price broke it, that means that when price is coming, it has a chance of rejecting from this zone, because this zone has price have rejected from it previously several times. So you can see it played that perfectly well, despite I did not take the trade, because I was not looking from the swing point. I was looking from interday points during the week. So for now, I'll be focusing mostly on the swings. So because I'm seeing possible move swing trading coming out. So we can see that the market rejects from here and is crashing. So we can see there's a minor zone here. There's a minor zone here. Immediately the market comes to this point, that's where we will make the decision either to go up or to go down. So let's wait for that. So the next pair is gold. We can see on gold it's still creating new all-time highs. And if we go down to the weekly time frame, we can see that the market is rejecting from this little zone here, which we talked about in our last video. I think so. Yes, we said it in our last video that we'll be looking for bullish movement on gold when it retests to this zone here. So we had something like this at that point in time. We said that when the market gets to this point, the market pushed higher and also came back to this point, and we can see a rejection. So seriously on gold, it's still looking bullish, though it's looking bullish from the monthly perspective. So we might, from the monthly perspective and the weekly perspective, from the daily perspective, gold is not looking bullish. You can see that this is a high, a low, a higher high. So we can see that this is a lower low, lower than the previous low. So we can see that this market is also rejecting from here. But despite that though, if gold start pushing upward, I'll be looking for possible buys if it maintains above this zone. So we might have something like this, and immediately the market breaks this, comes or just rejects from here, that will just give a better entry from somewhere here to go upward. So then I'll be looking for buy, but I'm not okay with looking with this structure I'm seeing here. I'm not okay with just buying based on the break of this trend line, this counter trend line. I would prefer the market fully moving upward. Like you can see, this is a high and create a higher low. Then from 4 hours, I'll get in somewhere here. Market will move higher. I'm okay with that, because at this point in time, if you're looking for a buy on gold, while the daily time frame is already bearish, it's a little bit risky. It's a little bit risky. So, but despite that, gold will always go up most of the time. So it's just based on seasonality, gold is supposed to go up. So, but despite that, I would prefer it to move in this point like this before I take a buy on gold. So at this point in time, is this is the decision point for gold. If gold maintain above here and break above here, it's going up. It's going up. But if it breaks below here, we might just see a short-term downward move on gold before gold start going up again, just as it usually do. So that's that for gold. So coming on to this week, what I'm looking out for is buy on EURJPY. If it's sustained above this demand zone, I'm looking for buy on EURJPY. So to get access to the entry on EURJPY, if we will buy on EURJPY, because if it doesn't give the criteria, I will not be looking for the buy. So, but if it gives me the criteria, then I will look for buyer and also give a confirmation in the group. Don't miss out. Join the Telegram group, which link is below on the comment section, and also you can see the link on the description. So thank you guys for staying to the end of this video. I'll see you same time next week. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.